Hello, and welcome to my review of Samurai Champloo. Samurai Champloo is an episodic tale of two samurai and their female friend. Directed by Shinichiro Watanabe a few years after his classic, Cowboy Bebop. The decision to make an episodic show was quite a risky one. I'm sure nobody doubted his ability to keep an episodic show interesting after Bebop, but it was a risk nevertheless. Champloo was similar to Bebop in so many ways it's impossible not to compare them, which is a shame because I don't think Watanabe was trying to top Bebop, but rather have a different, less serious approach to the Bebop formula. Although Champloo doesn't really stand up to Bebop, it still has a lot of its own merits. Possibly not the best section to start this review, as the story of Champloo is near non-existent. Our three main characters, Mugen, a hot-headed samurai, Jin, a cool-headed samurai, and Fu, a female. As a group, they are on a quest to find the samurai who smells of sunflowers. And that's it. There's nothing else to the plot that's really worth mentioning. The plot of Champloo is really just a tool to create episodic stories. You could replace the plot with any other random object they were trying to find, and it wouldn't impact the story at all. Personally, this is a big thumbs down for me, as I like a good story almost as much as I like good characters. But if you're not too bothered about the story of a show, then this shouldn't be too big of a problem for you. The episodic stories were fairly entertaining to watch, and provided a bunch of cool fight scenes, but there's only so much you can do inside the samurai setting. Some episodes stuck out more than others, but most of them were pretty forgettable. But like I said, don't watch this show if you're looking for a deep, intricate story. Now on a more positive note, the characters. With the lack of any real story, the characters of this show had to be entertaining. Mugen is a hot-headed samurai who doesn't play by the rules. He gets into a lot of fights throughout the series, but is generally quite likeable. Jin is the complete opposite. He's cool-headed and he lives a very traditional samurai lifestyle. Both characters are so different in pretty much every way. This creates a rivalry between them and is quite enjoyable to watch. Of course, they had to use the cliche, once we've finished our quest, we will fight each other, which is a really annoying plot point that's been overused way too much over the years. But overall, it was very enjoyable watching Ice trying to work with fire. Oh yeah, and there's Fu. She's a female. That's the only thing worth mentioning. Much like the childish story, she's only there to create episodic stories. The animation of Champloo was very stylized and quite unique. The animator's portrayal of a samurai-era world gave a good, believable atmosphere. But much like the episodic stories, you're very limited to what you can do with a samurai setting. The scenery was quite repetitive, but unlike a lot of shows, they couldn't just travel to a new location with new scenery. They created a great world with the confinements they were given. The fight scenes in Champloo were great. To be honest, I'd rather just watch 26 episodes of Mugen and Jin fighting random samurai. And it wasn't just weak henchmen they were fighting either. They got to face a lot of interesting, more equal opponents that led to long fight scenes with lots of fun choreography. The soundtrack was easily the best part of Champloo. Fat John and Nujabes were the ones behind the OST, and they made something brilliant. Something I'd never heard from an anime before. Very few anime have used hip-hop style music before, which is weird as it works so well. I'm not only giving this credit because it's hip-hop, I'm giving this credit because it's really good hip-hop. The music paired with the style of the show perfectly. The whole show had a very funky feel to it, so hip-hop was a perfect genre to use. It helped give the show a unique feel and move away from being too generic. Watanabe always finds a way to wrap his anime around a music genre. Whether that be jazz, space jazz, or hip-hop, it always sounds great. I wish I could just play my favourite songs from the OST, but it would take way too long. A massive thumbs up for the unique soundtrack. I think this is what made Champloo better than just an average samurai show. Champloo was a great example of how you can take a very overused genre like samurai and make it unique and stylized through sound and animation. Although the story was a disappointment, this show is still worth watching, just to appreciate its unique style. But remember, don't go into this show expecting any sort of story at all. Go in expecting to experience something brand new. I wouldn't say this was a letdown by Watanabe, but it didn't quite stand up to Bebop. But that's quite a hard task in itself. Overall, I quite enjoyed watching Samurai Champloo and I would recommend anyone to watch it. If you're looking for a familiar show, I would recommend Cowboy Bebop and Sword of the Stranger. This has been my review of Samurai Champloo. If you enjoyed this review, then please do click the like button. And if you want to see more of my reviews, you can click subscribe or any of the links on the screen. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.